Hi, I am Micheal Learner. I'm the creator of Wonderlic-style. I know this test inside out for many years, and in this video I'm going to introduce and explain the trickiest and toughest Wonderlic questions, so you will know how to answer them much quicker than the average test taker, and only that will be a huge advantage for you when you will take the real test. So guys, before we dig into the specific questions, I want to show you an original sample by Wonderlic.com. Let me refresh this page. It's straight from the source, right? These are real Wonderlic questions. So I want you to take a close look. You can pause the video and take a longer look. But the reason I'm showing you this is because there are a lot of, excuse my French, BS sources out there. I'll just quickly show you what I mean. When I go to Google and I search for Wonderlic practice test, this is the first result I see. It's Wonderlic test practice. Let me get into this website. First of all, when you see ads, so you can right away understand that the business model of this website is ad revenue. Whoever runs this website wants you to click on ads. This is the way they make money. So I just start with a full practice test they have, and I will just quickly go through the questions. And guys, I can tell you that these are just not Wonderlic questions. It's just, guys, you don't expect to have that level of difficulty in your test. It's just not going to happen. And if you will compare the original sample I showed you before with, let's say, this one, you will understand that this sample test got nothing to do with the real test you're going to take. And I've seen and spoke with so many test takers that failed the first attempt because they went to Google, they been watching a few practice tests, and they thought, okay, it's a walk in the park. And then when they took the real test, they just were totally in shock. So you want to really avoid that. So having that said, I'm going back to this sample. What I'm going to start with explaining is that type of question with the graphs, the graphical interpretation, and also this one with the checkered figures you see right here, and obviously other question types, math and everything. All tricky questions you will encounter in your test will be covered in this video. So watch it all the way through to the end, and let's get right into it, guys. Checkered figures questions. So you need to choose 3 choices needed to create a figure. On the left, only pieces of the same color may overlap. There is a subtype of these questions where you're being asked to choose 2 choices, which is a little bit slightly more challenging, but let's see how we can shorten your response time. Now, these questions can be easily answered within 15 to 20 seconds. Most people, untrained test takers, spend 40, 50 seconds or even more on these questions, and let's see how we can do it much faster. This is the game. This is how to win and ace this assessment. So what we're going to do here is, instead of going back and forth from the given image to the choices, where you're just going to use our hand. I know it sounds weird, but you will understand why in a minute. And we will go through the images looking for mismatches and trying to eliminate at least 2 choices. Then we'll be automatically left with 3 choices, and we are done. So once we will find 2 mismatches and we will eliminate 2 choices, we are done. So let's start. I'll go through this image. Everything looks okay. These 3 blue checkers and the black one. The second one looks okay also, and here there is a mismatch here. The black and the blue checker are switched, so I'm going to fold my 3rd finger, which represents the third image. Let's continue. So fourth image, there is a mismatch here, the black and the blue here. So I'm going to fold my fourth finger. So that's it, guys. I'm done. I know that the answer is E, D, and A. That's it. No need to double check or triple check or whatever you do. You're done. You just need to mark the answers and go to the next question. You don't want to trust your short-term memory. Many people tend to forget or get confused regarding which choices they already decided they need to be eliminated. So just use your hand. You're allowed, and that's it, guys. Let's move on to the next type. Data sets and graphical interpretation questions. So first of all, you have two types of these questions. The first type is you have two data sets with three figures each, and you have questions with one data set with 5 figures. Now, first thing is you need to ignore the question. When you see a question on your test with these 5 figures, with 5 graphs, you know what it's all about. You just need to go ahead to the numbers and work on the numbers. And I'll explain you how to do that very quickly. You don't care if it's about aquariums or about dance classes or whatever. I've seen quite longer questions on real tests, so it just meant to waste your time. Don't do that. You don't care about it. You know what you need to do. Just go straight ahead to the numbers. Now, most of the test takers, untrained test takers, what they will do is they will look at the numbers and then they will scan the figures and look for the right one, and some of them will try to do the shape of the graph with the mouse cursor, and guess what? When you move your mouse cursor, the shape disappears. It's magic. So what you need to do here is something, I'm going to use very advanced technology, all right? I'm going to use my scrap paper. Okay, I'm going to move to this way, and I'm going to just make a quick sketch of these two graphs, and let's just start and see how easy it is. I will do my best to keep the same relations, right? So I'll start. I'm going to work is a big word maybe, but I'm going to make a quick sketch of the first graph. So I'm going to start with 7, and the next stop is somewhere here, 17, and the third stop is, the second is 20. I don't need to write down the numbers. It's just a rough sketch, quick sketch to give me an idea. Now, the second data set starts here with 8, so it's somewhere a little bit above 7. And the next stop is 19, so it's above 17, so it's somewhere here, below 20. But then I need to go down to 10. And if this is 8, so 10 will be somewhere here. And that's it. This is it. Do you see something similar to this one? I think it's pretty obvious that the answer is D. Now, since I will, okay, just, so once you make it, how long does it take, guys? 10, 15 seconds. You need to understand most test takers spend 30 or even 40 seconds on these types of questions, and it's just a complete waste of time. Just do what I did. Don't count on your short-term memory. Don't count on your mouse cursor. It's just a question that can be easily done and solved within 10, maybe 15 seconds. And that's it. Mark the right answer and move on to the next question. So this is about data sets and graphical interpretation. Let's go to the next type of questions. The next type of questions I would like to introduce and explain here is actually a whole segment, math-related questions on the Wonderlic test. But before we dig into that, I would like to invite you to view and practice the first modules of our course free. I warmly recommend you to watch the introduction video. I keep updating all the time. You can see it here. You can just go to Wonderlic Mastery course. I am logged in, so right now all the modules are open, but you can just click here and click the start practicing, and you will be taken automatically to view this video. And in this video, I'm explaining in depth how to prepare, how the new Wonderlic scoring system works. It's an algorithm. How to manage your time, which is super important in that test, as you probably understood already, and how to avoid the most common mistakes test takers make all the time, over and over. You'll find this information very useful for you, I promise. And in addition, again, you can view other modules and actually start practice them as well. Okay, so back to math questions on the Wonderlic. You should expect to have around 15 math-related questions in your test. It's about 30% of the questions. And it's crucial to do well in these questions, and I'll explain why. Not all types of questions are weighted equally. Forget what you heard or read about in other sources. There is a new scoring algorithm, and every question is weighted differently by this scoring algorithm. Most of the math-related questions weigh more than others. So being successful with math questions in this test will place you in the top percentile among all the rest of the applicants. So you don't want to just pass the score threshold needed in order to proceed to the next phase of the assessment process. You want to excel in this test in order to stand out. When you are tagged as a person with strong cognitive abilities, you'll have a huge advantage over other applicants that compete with you for the same position. The good news is that your performance on the Wonderlic's math questions can be dramatically improved in a very short time. All it takes is a quick rust removal, and I'll show an example, and learning a few specific simple tactics and practicing it with just a few practice questions on each type. So about this rust removal, guys, you don't want to stare at a question on your real test and think how much is 9 times 60 or 7 times 80, whatever. Make sure you remember the multiplication and division table. Usually people tend to forget 6, 7, 8, 9 combinations. Probably you remember how much is 20 divided by 4. I hope so. So having that said, also important fractions and decimals and percentages, also important to remember, and you can pause the video and have a closer look. So let's go to this example that I wanted to show you. So this example I want to show you reveals a super easy tactic that will be explained in 2 minutes video. It's a small piece of one of our videos in the course, in the percentages module. It's for a type of question that tricks so many test takers. So let's take a look. I'll let Bob, our instructor, do the work for me. Let's listen. The sounds
areas calculation
it's gonna be
question.
so and so, but let's listen.
The office floor is 250 feet by 80 feet. The conference room floor is 50 feet by 80 feet. Which covers of the office? This question is an easy example to demonstrate why you don't need to calculate the floor area. Look at the relationship between the numbers. 80 feet stays the same as a factor in both areas. So you need to convert the portion of 50 feet out of 250 feet into a simple fraction. 50 is 1/5 of 250. 1/5 is 20%, and that's the right answer. Let's see a more complicated version. The factory floor is 3,000 feet times 800 feet. The storage room floor is 1,500 feet times 160 feet, which covers of the factory. Rushing into calculating the actual areas will be a very long way to go. Like in the first example, look at the ratios of both elements in each multiplication compared to each other. 1,500 out of 3,000 is 1/2. 160 out of 800 is 1/5. Now you need to multiply the two fractions by each other, and then you will get one fraction, which is the ratio between the two areas. 1/2 times 1/5 equals 1/10 equals 10%. The answer is 10%.
Thanks, Bob. It was pretty fast, right? Practice this with just 5 similar questions to make sure this super tactic will be burnt in your memory. You will nail these questions, no doubt, with ease, and while others will most likely spend a whole minute sweating on that one trying to calculate the areas. Another very important concept you need to be aware of when it comes to math questions on the Wonderlic is time trap questions, and these questions designed to just waste your time, throw you off the wagon, make you confused, lose your confidence. This is how psychometric tests are built. This is how your cognitive abilities are being tested. So we have a module in our course. I showed you already part of this video, but we have a section here where we show all types of these time trap questions. So I just want you to take a look and see just one example. This is a very complex question that obviously cannot be answered within 20, even 30, hell, even 1 minute. I think that maybe even a math teacher in high school, for him it will take, like, I don't know, 2 minutes and more, and you have 12 minutes for 50 questions. So try to imagine how many people are trapped with these questions. It's enough to be trapped in 1 or even 2 questions like this, lose a whole minute or even 2, and that will have a very negative impact on your score. So you need to be aware of, just identify these and make a quick guess and move on straight ahead. So you can see in this question you need to calculate each investor's net profit, and then you need to there are a few phases. You need to calculate the difference between the net profit of 2 specific investors. I mean, this is very complex for this type of test, and you can definitely have one of these questions in your test. So it's super important to be aware of and know all the math questions that you will have, and also be aware of these time traps that you need to just, again, guess and move on right away. You see, the Wonderlic test writers, like all psychometric test writers, love to use math problems. Their job is to help recruiters and test administrators to find these needles in the haystack. So they use different sorts of math questions with multiple options to solve, which one of them is much easier but can be noticed by either sharp-eyed people with strong cognitive skills or by test takers that are just familiar with these specific types of questions and know how to solve them quickly. As you've just seen, not only on this math problem, but in all other types of questions I demonstrated before, In our Wonderlic Mastery course, there is a simple and very effective way to solve each and every one of the specific Wonderlic question types. There is a module for each type of question with a short instructional video and a short quiz with practice questions. And again, there is at the end of the instructional part, there is a module with 3 full-length practice tests that you can practice the time management and how to take the test as a whole. And of course, you can see all your errors and watch the explanations of how to solve each question the quickest way. And in addition, there is these 2 modules for the motivation and personality assessments as well. Also very important to your overall score on WonScore or Wonderlic. So I think, guys, it's like, it's like assembling a piece of furniture you got in IKEA, like let's say a coffee table. For some people, they are just innately know how to do it without even looking at the instructions. They can just go straight ahead and do it because they have strong mechanical know-how. I'm not sure how to phrase that. They're good handy persons. But for most people, like me, I definitely need to read the instructions. And this is exactly what this course is. It's a set of super simple instructions to follow and remember that will help you score high on your Wonderlic test. Now, it's not about assembling a coffee table here, guys. We're talking about your future. It's your career. Whatever you want to be, it's a nurse or Subway franchisee or data analyst, a police officer, or even an executive associate in a financial firm. Whatever it is, you don't want to leave any room for chance. Remember their website with the phony practice test with all the ads over there? I don't want you to click on any ads. I want you to pass this assessment and maybe send me a thank you email or leave a comment on our website like you see here. And this is, guys, what makes me and my team happy, fulfilled, and motivated. We offer this course for a very fair price, and if you have been watching this video so far, you probably understand that we pull a lot of effort and work in creating and updating this course and all the materials. And if you won't feel the same after buying this course, if you won't think what I think about this course, then you can just send me an email to info@wonderlic-prep.com and I will issue an immediate refund. Barely never happens. Usually when it happens, it's for people that bought the course and then they realize they don't need to take the test at all. And that's it, guys. I hope I helped you here to better understand the test, to be more familiar with the real questions that you will see on the Wonderlic, and also how to solve a big chunk of the questions that you will see. And of course, nothing is as good as going through all the curriculum from A to Z, practicing and making sure you don't leave any room for chance. That's it, guys. Again, my email for any question or concern is info@wonderlic-prep.com. Take care.